Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
Sometimes I think it is misinterpretation. It might be misinterpretation, but then there is direct line crossing too.
Nearly 200 people are coming forward and accusing the company Massage Envy of sexual misconduct.
These disturbing allegations include groping, among other inappropriate advances made by therapists at locations across the country. And the billion-dollar company is now being sued. What about here in the FM area?
What are other massage businesses doing to prevent anything like this from happening here? Valley News Team's Melanie Palmer has the answer.
It's where you go to unwind and feel the stress of the day disappear. But what if you are sexually assaulted while getting that massage?
They have to tell the client, you can undress to your comfort level. Most people, that means that they will at least be in their underwear, or sometimes less than that if that's what they're comfortable with.
Dr. Beth Knockin has been in the business for over 2 decades. She knows her stuff. And when it comes to sexual assault in the massage room, she says there's no place for it. But she does admit it can be hard knowing what a new client is comfortable with.
The very first time you see a customer, you're going to need to continually ask more questions. If you see that same customer a second time, you probably won't need to ask all of the same questions, but it's still important to check in.
And Dr. Knockin takes precautions at her practice for both the client and the therapist. Staff members aren't allowed to work on a male client without another therapist in the building. She says that communication is key when working with a client.
If you're going to be working on the thigh or working on the glute region, you need to explain, this is what I'm going to do, this is why I'm going to do it, and make sure that that customer, are you okay with that?
But previous clients at Massage Envy are saying they don't follow the same safety measures. We reached out to the 2 Fargo locations, and they released a statement to Valley News Live. They say that the reported incidents are heartbreaking and occurred over a span of 15 years. But one incident is too many, and they are working to strengthen their policies. In Moorhead, Melanie Palmer, Valley News Live.
Dr. Knockin added, when learning to be a massage therapist, they teach you to not cross an inappropriate line and how to properly address the client when giving the massage. You can find the full statement from Massage Envy on our website, valleynewslive.com.
The West Fargo School Board has accepted the boundary change proposal to move nearly 1,000 elementary students for the 2018-19 school year. The decision happened at tonight's meeting with a vote of 6-1 in favor of the changes. Officials say the change is due to several things: the addition of Willow Park Elementary on the north side of the district, the return of kindergarten students to their neighborhood elementary schools, and a need to balance enrollments. The boundary changes impact 963 students in grades 1 through 5, which is about 20% of the district's total elementary population. If you want to find out if your child is affected, click on the link attached to this story at valleynewslive.com.
Hard not to notice the temps on this late November day. Today was one for the record books. And Hutch, are there more nice days to come?
There are several nice days if you're a fan of the warm weather. Today's high temperatures broke records out in the western and central Dakotas, and South Dakota really warming up with southern South Dakota in the low 80s today. 54 record tying degrees, tying a record set back in 1899 in Fargo. We also tied a record in Grand Forks at 48 degrees. As we take a look at the radar, there are a few showers of rain as we head to bed tonight that are working their way eastward through northwest Minnesota. They're starting to wrap up in the Hallock area. These showers will continue off to the east, but they should be out of here by the midnight hour, as west winds will be breezy through the overnight hours. Coming up, we'll talk about a little bit of a cool down before we warm back up. I'll have all the details on our week of weather here in just a moment.
Look forward to it. Thanks.
You bet.
And make sure that you have the Valley News Live Storm Team weather app so you can keep up with the weather anytime, anywhere. You'll get the latest forecasts and conditions to plan your day. Just search VNL Weather in the App Store and download it for free.
While many are enjoying these warmer than usual temps, they also present dangers for those in our area. The Beltrami County Sheriff's Office says they have recovered the bodies of a man and woman from Upper Red Lake in central Minnesota. An ATV belonging to the two missing people has also been recovered in that lake, which is just north of Bemidji. The names of the victims have not been released yet, but search teams were looking for a 28-year-old man from Stacy, Minnesota, and a 30-year-old woman from Princeton, Minnesota. The Sheriff's Office is waiting on positive identification of the bodies. This is the second search conducted in that area. Another boat capsized and two people disappeared on Lower Red Lake near Redby, Minnesota. Those two have not been found yet.
Some people in the FM Metro are worrying about kids playing on unsafe ice. A West Fargo resident posted this picture on Nextdoor yesterday, saying children were standing close to open water. The West Fargo Fire Department warns that the ice may not be safe and explains how to check to see if it is.
If you have your kids out here, you want to come out here, what we recommend is going to the edge of the pond and drilling a hole. You need at least 4 inches on the edge, and then work out drilling holes. If it's getting thicker as you go towards the center, you know you're pretty well set.
Chief Fuller says the key is to always accompany your children to the frozen area and never go on rivers or other flowing bodies of water.
Police in Grand Forks say it's the biggest drug bust in years, and it involves 2 UND students. Cops seized 60 pounds of weed, as well as a semi-automatic rifle, 70 grand in cash, and numerous pills. The cost of the drugs is estimated at over $330,000. The 2 UND students from Minneapolis, 21-year-old Cade Hoban and 20-year-old Mark Hildahl, were arrested. They were living in a neighborhood behind the Salvation Army, north of University Avenue. Charges have been forwarded to the Grand Forks State's Attorney.
A Crookston, Minnesota woman will spend nearly 6 years in prison for trying to cover up a killing at a North Dakota truck stop. 33-year-old Lori Ortiz was charged as an accessory after the fact in the shooting death of 24-year-old Austin Forsman. Forsman was shot as he sat in his vehicle outside the Flying J truck stop in Grand Forks back in March of 2016. Authorities say the killing was drug-related, and the investigation resulted in 13 indictments in federal court. Authorities say that Ortiz was involved in destroying or attempting to destroy cell phones in an effort to help those involved in the killing.
A fugitive wanted out of North Dakota is behind bars after leading police on a chase in Panama City Beach, Florida over the weekend. Ryan Swartley is wanted on federal charges. The truck he was driving had an Arizona license plate. As the pursuit made its way to a pier, Swartley reportedly hit 2 cars, sending one person to a hospital with minor injuries. A deputy was able to stop him at the Bay County Pier and arrest him.
The Bison football team is down 3 players permanently and 1 player temporarily. What's going on with some dismissals and a suspension?
But first, more people were buying guns on Black Friday, and that set a new record for gun background checks. That's straight ahead.